Hi guys, welcome back to the Career Savage YouTube channel. Today I will be reviewing a Patriot Act video. That's a show on Netflix, and Hasan talks about whether or not college is still worth it. I know a lot of young people are wondering, should I still go to college? Is it worth it? Do I really need a degree? So I will be reviewing everything that he's saying from a career coach's point of view. Let's get started.
We all know the coronavirus has hit older Americans the hardest, except for Jeff Goldblum. He's still out here dressing like he's in BTS.
I have no idea who that is.
But COVID-19 is also hitting young people in a major way.
Across America, life is changing rapidly. Hundreds of schools and colleges are closing nationwide.
Stanford, Princeton, Harvard, a lot of schools. And it seems like the number's growing by the day.
At Kent State University, today many students moved out unexpectedly. What are you taking with you?
Everything.
Millions of students home early. I know I've got one here who's behind the
I
camera.
couldn't even imagine.
A 19-year-old from BU.
Why do I feel like I should call the FBI? I've got a 19-year-old student back here. Top, supple, loves hockey. Colleges were some of the first places to shut down because of Corona. In an instant, childhood bedrooms became dorms, moms became cafeteria workers, and Econ 101 looked like the Brady Bunch fuck Don Lemon's show. By the way, I love how celebrities are also like, oh, you didn't get a graduation? Let me just FaceTime you from my bedroom.
Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Literally.
Coronavirus can't erase your success.
So keep your eyes on the ball.
There's always the haves and the have-nots in a capitalistic society.
Trust me, as a dude who only got a 1310 on the SAT and became a stand-up comedian, there's no shame in living at home. Okay, they didn't ask me to be in the Imagine video, so I had to take what I could get. It's no secret. Students aren't loving classes online. And not just because one teacher forgot to close his porn tabs. It's a shame he had to resign. He loved his job so much, he literally jerked off to it. Schools going online also meant that students weren't getting what they had paid for. And a lot of them were pissed.
Students are suing 2 major universities in New England.
You know what? I personally feel if students want to sue, whatever, get their money back, so be it. Because at the end of the day, you pay to sit in class and absorb that information. There's nothing better than sitting in a classroom and being able to ask your professors questions without Wi-Fi being an issue, without 60 million people on a Zoom call asking questions at one time, the professor telling you to just email them. I think students should get what they pay for, and they should at least get like a prorated check for the classes they weren't allowed to attend.
Demanding repayment for their tuition and their room and board.
It's just kind of
especially room and board.
We have to pay $55,000 for basically the same thing you could find on a Coursera or edX.
Holy shit, 55 grand for a glorified masterclass? That's enough to take screenwriting with Aaron Sorkin and buy the mountain of cocaine he used to write A Few Good Men. So far, students around the country have filed at least 100 lawsuits for refunds. The dean at NYU, Tisch, sent an email saying there would be no refunds for tuition, and then attached this very real video. Someone forcing you to listen to REM is already one of the worst parts of college. You just don't expect it to be your dean.
Literally.
Also, it's $58,000 a year to go to Tisch. And she's like, sorry, you can't get your money back. Here's a free Zumba class. There's actually one big reason why schools don't want to give out refunds.
The American Council on Education now projects nationwide enrollment in the fall will be down 15% for a revenue loss, conservatively, of $23 billion.
$23 billion. That is so much money they could have used to not pay college athletes. The truth is, some schools aren't going to make it through COVID. One estimate says 345 universities across the country may have to close in the next 6 years. The University of Akron is closing 6 of its 11 colleges. And for the schools that are staying open, rules are all over the place. The Cal State system announced that classes will only be online. And UNC and Notre Dame are going to open early, but then end the semester by Thanksgiving. Look, no one has a clue what college is going to look like next year. So if you're about to go to college, or you're in college, or if you're a parent, you're probably wondering, is college still worth it?
That's a good question.
Because with student debt crushing so many people, it's important to know, what are you really getting for your money? This debate isn't new, by the way. Pre-COVID, lots of people were questioning the value of college, especially rich assholes.
There's no need even to have a college degree.
Elon Musk and all these other celebrities who have billions of dollars and they have these great corporations telling people not to get an education is actually very selfish, in my opinion, because you already have your wealth. You've already created opportunities for yourself. And now you're telling people who want to get an education that they shouldn't go because it's not worth it. It may not have been worth it for you. Doesn't mean it's not worth it for somebody else. Goofy.
At all.
Don't spend, $200,000 on a college degree
Says
and waste
you.
4 years of your life.
Colleges, they're as corrupt as the Catholic Church was 500 years ago.
He's right. Everyone knows colleges force professors to remain celibate and burn heretics alive. Look,
That was sarcasm.
I get that a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
But growing up, most of us were told,
You have to
hey,
go
if
to college.
you get into the right college, it's your golden ticket. I believe that.
Mhm.
It's why these videos are a thing.
I got into Harvard.
Oh my God! I got it!
Oh, this is so sweet.
Oh my God! To all my Asian parents watching at home, the thing those parents were doing is something called being proud. I know, it's stupid. So clearly a lot of people still think college is worth it.
Yeah.
You know the intangibles, social skills, critical thinking, and the chance to smoke weed out of your roommate's sleep apnea machine.
Okay, not that.
But there are real facts in favor of college. Over their careers, women with a college degree earn about $450,000 more than high school grads.
Dollars.
For men, it's $660,000 more.
Okay, we're not going to talk about the gender inequalities as it comes to the pay gap because I don't understand why men with a college degree make $660,000 more and women with a college degree only make $425,000 more. It's a bit of a $200,000 gap, but that's not what this video is about.
For low-income students, a college degree may be the single best engine for social mobility. If you grow up poor and graduate from college, you have a 90% chance
Of escaping
getting out of
poverty.
So getting a degree is kind of like being Tom Hanks's kid. Your chances of ending up okay are very high, but it's not 100%.
Oh my God. He's a fool. Chet Hanks is a fool. We all know this.
By Golden Globe standards, this actually counts as diversity. So the
Literally.
benefits of a college degree are pretty obvious. But what you may not realize is that the downside of not having a degree is getting worse. In the 90s, jobs that paid at least $35K were held by college grads 40% of the time. Today, it's 55%. But that's mainly because in the 90s, most people had a job being in Guns N' Roses. But here is the most shocking fact.
Americans are killing themselves by drinking, by accidentally overdosing, by overeating, or more quickly and more straightforwardly by committing suicide. Deaths of despair have risen in parallel for men and women. The key distinction here is not between men and women, but rather between those with and without a college degree.
That is so depressing,
Very.
even when you hear it from a Hogwarts professor. Working class life is more grueling than ever. Look at the number of white people who died from deaths of despair. This is how many had a college degree. And this is how many who didn't. That should be on every brochure, by the way.
That's
just like Chico
insane.
State, go here or die of unnatural causes. Do you see what's happening here?
Yeah.
College used to be aspirational. It was your shot at a better life. But these
Now it's
days,
just shot at a regular
you're not
life.
really rewarded for getting a degree. It's kind of expected. But you are definitely penalized for not getting one. So when it comes to going to college, it's an unenthusiastic yes, like voting for Joe Biden. It sucks,
But we
you're
have to
probably
do
gonna
it.
if you want a future.
Pause. This isn't like a political channel or anything, but seriously, guys, you need to vote. You need to get out and vote this election. I don't care how you feel about Biden, but if you want to stay in the state of the nation as it's been now for another 4 years, get out and vote. You don't have to like him, but like him even a little bit more than this current guy that's in the White House right now.
And whether or not colleges know this, they have you by the balls, which means they can twist and squeeze.
Check this out. College tuition has more than doubled over the past 30 years.
And on top of that, tuition and fees make up only 48% of total costs students actually pay to attend those schools.
We all know college is expensive, but what you might not know is that the product is getting worse. Just look at what's happening to tenured professors. Tenure is when a university gives a professor lifelong job security to do research and teach. They're well paid, killer benefits. It's the Delta Gold Medallion status of academia. Good professors are necessary. Without them, college is just ramen noodles and a few pregnancy scares. But tenured professors are being replaced with the cheaper option.
Statistics over the last 10-20 years point toward a growing trend in the employment of adjunct or part-time professors.
Yeah. It's the Uber economy, where everything's freelance.
What might be called the adjunctivitis epidemic.
Ugh. Adjunctivitis? Okay, no. Only one disease per episode. It's why we're talking about college, and I haven't once mentioned chlamydia. Adjuncts are the gig workers of higher education, and they are now teaching a lot of classes. Since 1975, the percentage of tenured or tenure-track professors has dropped, but non-tenured teachers has shot up. I'm not saying that adjuncts are bad. It's just that they're expected to do the same work as tenured professors. Well,
just like they're talking about adjuncts and regular professors, that's similar with contracted and full-time employee workers, where it's always cheaper for a company to have contracted workers than it is to have full-time employees. And sometimes I feel like some companies, not all, because I work for a great company, but some companies, they like to take shortcuts. And with those shortcuts, you get less quality of work. Adjunct professors are required to teach the same amount of classes that professors do for less. Also, contracted workers are required to do the same exact work, probably working more hours but not getting paid for it, as full-time employees. College is like business.